Hey folks, welcome back to the Lone Pine Tarot. For today's topic for our pick a card reading, we have a message that's all about something important that your future self wants to say to you. So basically this is all about your future self sending a message back to you to help guide you with your wisdom to the most happy, healthy, successful version of yourself you can be. So this reading is really, really good to help give you some advice on how to go forward in the near future so that you can reach your happiest, best self, okay? So without further ado, let's pick our piles. For pile number 1's over here on the left, we have change. For pile number 2's in the center, we have simplicity. And for my pile number 3's over here on the right, we have the giraffe with thriving. Whoopsie, I almost dropped the card. So, quick refresher. Change, pile number 1. Simplicity, pile number 2. Thriving, pile number 3. If you have not decided yet what pile you would like read for you today, of course, you can always pause on the video, look at the cards a little bit longer, see which one kind of pulls the most at your soul or pulls the most at you, is calling to you. Then, whenever you're ready, drop down to the description box or the top pinned comment down below the video. Click on the timestamp for your reading, and I will see you in our discussion about what your future self has to say that is important to you. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number 1's. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of your future self has an important message or something important to say to you. So as you recall, the card used to pick your pile was it looks like almost a carousel horse on a hot air balloon with the title of Change. Okay, so something about shifting energies, perhaps moving from one phase to the next in your life, but we'll see what the other cards say before we get into the nitty-gritty details. Love the colors in that card. Okay, we'll set your pile leader off to the left as usual. We have your oracle cards, and then I also am going to pull some tarot cards from Tarot of the Divine. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1's, could you give me about 4 or 5 cards explaining what their future self wants to say to them? Okay. What is most important for them to hear? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, and let's see what else is popping out. I think definitely that one right there, 5. Okay. All right, my lovely pile number 1's. So let's look at your oracle cards first. First up, we have the Lantern Oracle. You received, this came up in a reading the other day. Perspective, number 39. A calm and clear mind is free to see differently. Okay, so that's all about seeing things from different perspectives, maybe getting a bird's eye view of something instead of seeing it up close and it feeling like it's overwhelming. Like, for example, the imagery I'm getting intuitively is, imagine being right up next to that lighthouse. It seems really, really, really tall, kind of insurmountable, like if you were like right next to the brick outside of it. But like this figure over here, she's sitting on this tree looking at it with binoculars. It almost seems a lot smaller than she thought it was, just from seeing it from a distance, okay? So that's what that card means. It's all about different perspectives. So we'll see how that ties into your full reading with your other cards. Actually, I'm just going to set your tarot cards down here with me for a second. Next up, we have Surrender. Your Surrender card is Surrender Defensiveness. Defensiveness is a sign of weakness. To communicate in a more empowered way, stay centered and hear someone out, then offer a clear, non-defensive response. Okay, so this is about not being defensive with other people. So there's some aspect of that here. I'm actually going to shift these 2 around. I always say to my pile number 1's, you're a little bit of my guinea pigs on the setup of the cards. You're the first pile, so. And then your Nature's Whispers is show your support. Okay, supporting others. Embracing others. helping others out. Could also mean helping yourself out in some way. We'll see what your tarot cards say before I give a conclusive answer on that, though. Okay, and then your tarot cards. Tarot of the Divine. Let's see. We have, first up, the Five of Wands, the card of combativeness, fighting with other people. Tends to be a little bit more lighthearted than the Five of Swords, but it's still a clash of egos, because in tarot, wands is fire, and fire is ego, willpower, your spark, so to speak. Okay, so maybe a little bit of conflict with other people is something that your future self wants to talk to you about, because not only do we have a card about being or giving up defensiveness, we also have a card about showing your support for others and about combat with others, okay? All right, next up we have the Nine of Wands reversed. Nine of Wands is typically about holding out till the end. Nine of Wands reversed is about not giving up. Sometimes it can mean giving up in a negative way. I think with this particular reading, it's about letting something go. Okay, but we'll see what else pops out before I say anything. For conclusiveness, or being conclusive for sure. All right, next up, the Ace of Wands reversed. Lots of wands, fire energy. Fiery, even your defensiveness card kind of looks fiery. Interesting pile number ones. Ace of Wands is usually a spark of something. Reversed, it's looking for a spark. Sometimes that means creatively. Sometimes that means in terms of confidence in something. Okay. Apologies for car noises outside. I live pretty close to a busy street, so sometimes the cars are really loud. All right. Then we have the Page of Swords. Pages are apprentices, explorers, exploring a new way of thinking, with the sword being the air suit. Okay. How to think about something. Interesting. Okay. And then, last but not least, we have the Knight of Swords, taking action with our new way of thought. Okay, so pile number ones. Your reading is coming off pretty strong, or with a pretty quick, more blatant message today. Your future self wants to talk to you about, what's the best way to put it? There's some area of your life where there needs to be some sort of change in the way a group that you're in communicates. Could be something to do with work. It could be something to do with your family. It could be to do like a friend group, okay? But it's something in the way that egos clash in this group. And I say that because we have the Five of Wands here. That's literally, I mean, if you look at the wands as metaphorical, like, symbols of ego or of willpower, okay? They're literally clashing their wands together, their egos together, or their, willpower together, and fighting over something, okay? I think there may have been a desire on your end to keep up the fighting in this group, and I'm not saying that as, oh, you're a bad person, you're, how dare you, clash with these people, or Spirit's not saying that either. It's just that your future self is saying there needs to be some sort of shift in the way you interact with this group. Okay? I don't think, like I was saying, I don't think it's a shame on you, oh, you're a bad communicator type message. I think it's just that the way that you're communicating with them, or in general how everybody in this group is communicating with each other, is not conducive to the best outcome. And that's why, because this is a future self reading, this is why your future self is talking to you about it, because they want you to have the best outcome that you can with this group, okay? It's all about shifting it from, and it's okay. It's interesting because with your surrender defensiveness here, I think there's a tendency in this group to want to like clash to defend oneself. I think maybe there's a little bit of blame game going on. I tend to maybe see a little bit more, the majority of this is probably work related, but like I said, it could be family or it could be like a friend group, right? There's pointing fingers, there's the blame game, like I said, there's well, I didn't mean to do that, or, well, it wasn't my fault, or, you know, if someone in the group suggested criticism of someone else in the group, it doesn't necessarily mean between you and someone else. It could have been two other people in this group, and then you had to take a side between them or something like that. In general, it's just the group, okay, not just you specifically, like I said. And whoever was being criticized did not take it very well, so there was a little bit of a tiff over that. There's way too much fire here. And I say that because of all these wands in the beginning of your cards, or the beginning of the tarot cards that came up. And too much fire in a tarot reading, to me, is not just emblematic of the Five of Wands, of the clashing of egos. It's just there's too many cooks in the kitchen, okay? There's too many people that think that they're right and won't budge, okay? It could even be like a group project type thing at school, if you're currently in school, or a group project type thing at work, something that you're working on with your family or your friend group. Maybe it's even like you're deciding to go on a vacation together with a group, and you can't decide where to go, or you can't decide, you know, who's going to pay for what, that type of thing, okay? So there needs to be less fire, less of people trying to impose their will on everybody else in this group, and more the cold, or I don't want to say cold in at least the positive connotation of calm and collected, logical type energy and supportive type energy to replace that fiery, you know, let's clash our egos together, I'm right, no, I'm right, blah, 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 that type of thing, you know. And pile number ones, it could be that you already have recognized this in this particular group dynamic and you're already sick of it yourself. It's just that maybe you haven't really seen a way out of it because you're like, well, maybe this is just the way this group operates. You know, what am I supposed to do? Shrug, you know. But yeah, it's shifting that fire energy of clashing egos towards more of the swords energy over here. And the swords, like I said, are the air suit. Calm, rational, logical, you know, exploring ideas together in a calm way with that Page of Swords. And then the Knight of Swords is taking action with the ideas and the logic that we've come up with. That type of thing, okay? Because right now, I think if this group that you're in continues on this path of let's just butt heads and get nothing done, then it could be destructive in terms of it could derail from the purpose of this group. Say, like, if it is a work thing, the project won't be done very well, okay? Or, you know, if it's a friend group and say it is, maybe you're planning a vacation together or an outing together with this friend group, it could just completely derail actually getting anywhere with the plans, and then the whole vacation or the outing kind of falls apart, that type of thing. So that's why your future self is offering this advice to you, so that you can move forward with speed with that Knight of Swords energy, okay? And the way to do that, pile number ones, okay, you have some advice cards here. Number one, we already talked about surrender defensiveness. Like I said, this isn't a finger wagging, shaking at you from spirit or myself. It could be that you're not even the defensive person yourself. It's just that there's other people in this group that are, like, very defensive. So I think the best way to push through that defensiveness, wherever it's coming from, is related to these two cards over here. You have perspective. A calm and clear mind is free to see differently. And show your support over here. Supporting. So I think what your future self wants you to do, pile ones, is to take that, or, well, they want you to be the catalyst for the change of the energy of this group. It's not technically your responsibility alone, but I think what your future self is saying is that you're the best, most perfect choice of person in this group to make a change. Maybe your voice is very respected in this group is why. You know, maybe you're the best way of promoting harmony within this group. You know, maybe you're the most humble of the group, and so you're willing to put away your ego before everybody else is, just to say, okay, let's put away, you know, our ego, let's put away our conflict, let's just get this done, okay? That's why your future self is telling you this. You're the best person to do this, okay? So, hear someone out. and then offer a clear, non-defensive response. That's what this card is talking about. Okay. Withhold and encourage others in this group to withhold ego while hearing other people's perspectives out. Okay. Gather everybody's perspectives in this group. And then together embodying that Page of Swords, Knight of Swords energy of the more cold, logical rationality, instead of all this fire we had in the beginning here. Weigh the different perspectives together. So like, let's say you're in a friend group and you're deciding on an outing, okay? And one person in the group says, I want to go to this restaurant because I like tacos, okay? That sounds silly, but it's just an example, right? And then the other person is like, well, no. I really hate tacos. We need to go to this restaurant because I like spaghetti and I like Italian food, okay? It just depends, right? Or I want to go to this restaurant because it's Greek food and I like this food. And we went to Italian last time, and so we should go to Greek this time, blah, 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 stuff like that, okay? Weigh the pros and cons of everybody's opinion in this group. Come together with compromise. Like, let's say we're just going on with this restaurant example, say, okay, you know what? That person has a point. We did technically go get Italian last time. So, hey, person that's vouching for Italian, I respect that, you really enjoy Italian food and I do too. But we can go to Italian in the future, and we just went to an Italian restaurant. So let's try Greek or Mexican with tacos this time or something. Whatever cuisine we're talking about, it just depends, right? Calm, rational swords energy, okay? Put emotions away, think about things logically. I think that's the issue, is that there's just too much emotion going on here, too much ego, right? And then same thing too with show your support. Find ways in this group to be the best advocate, to be the best supportive energy you can for other people in the group. I think part of the frustration, or one of the things fueling this fiery, let's be combative energy in this group, is that everybody in the group feels like they're not being supported enough. Okay, oftentimes when people lash out and they want their way, it's because they feel like they never get their way, or they feel like, well, how come I always have to compromise? Or how come no one supports my idea? It's that ego-driven thing, right? Okay, so if you show your support in any way you can, people will know that their opinion and their perspective is valued, okay, that you value them. So that even if it turns out that their particular perspective or their particular idea for whatever it is that is being made for the goal of whatever this group is, even if it doesn't end up being the one chosen, they know that at least that they were listened to, and it was a fair, not competition is not a good word, but it was a fair trial of all of the different opinions and ideas, so that they don't feel like they're slighted, okay? I don't know if maybe there tends to be in this group, maybe one or two people always get their way, and so that's been creating some resentment within the other group members, okay? Things like that. So that will help improve the group cohesion, that will bring down that fire energy, and it will change, kind of like your pie leader says, it'll change this group for the better, all right? Let's see if there's any other messages for you here before I pull. I think I might pull 3 more cards of advice for you, pile number 1s, okay? Yeah, so just to summarize so far, there's a group dynamic in some sort of group that you're in where people are getting combative, and the actual purpose of the group is just not going very well because people are letting their egos get in the way. And at least so far, your advice is to let go of the fight, encourage other people to let go of the fight, and embody more of a rational logic kind of vibe with this group rather than the combative, let's bash our egos together and then nothing gets done, okay? Encourage people to surrender to their defensiveness. Encourage people to show their perspectives, especially people in the group that maybe don't feel like they can share their perspectives a lot. Get rid of hierarchy. Think about more of it in a democratic way of, okay, everybody gets a say, right? That type of thing. Yeah, and then show your support to other people so that they feel that even if their idea isn't the one chosen, or whatever the purpose or goal of this group is, that they do have support. It's just that rationally, logically, there was a different idea that was better for the purposes of the group, okay? That type of thing. All right, so I'm going to pull 3 more cards of advice for you, pile number 1s, on how to go forward with this in the future. We already talked about this advice, but I'm going to see if there's anything more. So, Spirit, for my lovely pile number 1s, could you talk more about advice on how to interact with this group in the future, or this group dynamic, like that type of thing? 3 cards, please. I'll pull them out at the end here. Okay, so definitely that one, and I'm thinking that one. Okay. So let us see what's going on here. Some advice. Number 1, the Hierophant is all about tradition, passing things down, passing knowledge down. We have White Buffalo Woman here. Okay. Can mean spiritual leadership too sometimes. The Hierophant sometimes is known as the Pope, right? So spiritual leadership. Number 2 is 6 of Coins, equal distribution, fairness. Yep, that's what I was saying before. Everybody gets a say. This is a pretty good kind of democracy type card. Everybody gets their own coin. Everyone gets their own opinion heard. All right. You know, I'm thinking maybe this group originally did interact that way with the Hierophant, like it's a tradition for this group. Well, that, or it's just a tradition for this group to be combative, and that's why nobody's changing, because it's like, well, this is just the way we've always done it, which is not, you know, never, most of the time it's never really a good reasoning just to keep things going that are bad, right? But sometimes groups do that. They're like, well, this is the way we've always done it, so blah, you know. We'll see what else comes out before I say more. Okay, Queen of Swords. The Queen of internal mastery of logic, communication, the way we think, okay? The Queen of Swords also can embody somebody that is very logical. You need to be this Queen of Swords, pile number 1. So you have to be the queen for this group, okay? So yeah, this is kind of, I apologize, it's kind of a repeat of the advice we were getting so far, but it's just another confirmation from Spirit or your future self that this is the right path to take with this group. So yes, embody that Queen of Swords energy. I am cold, I am rational, okay? Cold in a positive connotation or positive way, not a mean way. Like, cold as in, this is just the logic of it, okay? Think about the logic, less about the feelings, okay? Number 2, 6 of Coins is fairness or equal distribution, sometimes charity, okay? Everybody gets a say. Everybody gets their coin, okay? Try to encourage not just one voice outweighing all the others, okay? Run it more democratically where, yep, everybody gets a say, everybody gets a chance, okay? Throw away hierarchy, throw away whoever has the loudest voice. Or don't throw them away, but you know what I mean? Like, don't just let the squeaky wheel get the grease, I guess is the saying, right? Or it's not your responsibility, but you can help encourage, be a voice in this group to encourage more of that, let's respect everybody's opinion type energy, okay? And then the Hierophant, like I said, is tradition, things passing down, spiritual leadership, okay? Not only is it maybe asking for you to be a leader like the Queen of Swords energy was too, showing the way for this group, like I said, because it's the card that represents tradition. Maybe it just is this way in this group, this fiery, clashing ego energy, because that's what people have just done so far. Okay. And so it's up to you to set a new tradition. Okay. Just like White Buffalo Woman, I believe it is, she's from, is it Lakota? Belief. She taught them about like the peace pipe, smoking tobacco, to my understanding. In a time of famine, she brought buffalo back to the plains, right? Came out, basically was like a heroic figure and said, okay, here, this is the way you do things. Here's an answer to your famine. Okay, so that needs to be you, pile number 1s. You need to be the White Buffalo Woman for your group. In fact, I recommend looking up the story of White Buffalo Woman, and embodying some of her values, some of what she did, at least in terms of the spirit or the energy of it, okay? So yeah. Let's see if there's any other messages for you, pile 1s, before I sign off. So like I said, one last thing I just want to say is it's not, you're not the mother or the father of this group. I mean, of course, you're probably all adults. unless it is maybe family, and then of course there might be some children involved. But in general, you know, you don't have to be the mother or the father of this group. You know, everybody is equally responsible. But sometimes there needs to be a clear voice ringing out, saying the unspoken, fighting for those that don't have as strong a voice of yours, so that everybody equally has a chance to be heard, and that the purposes of this group can be brought to its greatest fruition, I guess is a better way to put that, okay? So it's not your responsibility, but your future self is telling you that you're the best person for the job. And that's why you're being encouraged to help, you know, promote listening to different perspectives, or promoting supportiveness in this group, promoting new traditions of let's listen to each other instead of fighting. Okay, that type of thing. So yes, you're the white buffalo woman of this group, pile number 1s, all right? So as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1s. Hello there, my lovely pile number 2s. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of your future self having something important to say to you. As you recall, your pile leader that you picked for your pile was Simplicity. We have the white feather. Lovely. Getting back to basics. Purity. Making things simple instead of complicated. That type of vibe. So we will set your pile leader off to the left here, as always, next to the pine cone. And then we have oracle cards, of course, and then I'm going to pull some tarot cards for you as well. So Spirit, for my lovely pile number 2s, could you give me 5 cards explaining what their future self wants to say to them? What's the context? What's going on? What do they want to say? Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Definitely that one. And that one kind of popped out too. Let's do that. 5. Okay. Get our ducks in a row. Look at our oracle cards first. So your Lantern Oracle is lovely. A figure in the desert moving forward. Number 28. The first step is taken within our stillness. Okay, so there's something about moving forward momentum. Doesn't always necessarily mean taking action. It can sometimes mean just a change in our minds to intend to move forward. Okay, putting our intention out there in the universe. Hey, I want to take a step. See what else pops out before I say more on that. Love that card. It's beautiful. All right, and then your surrender card, actually I'm going to put that over here, is surrender unhealthy relationships. Let go of relationships that don't serve you, including unavailable or toxic people. You deserve to be treasured by others and to be surrounded by positive people. Okay, so part of the message from your future self, pile number 2s, might be surrounding, letting go of people that are not serving you in terms of energy in your life. Okay, maybe people that drain you, people that aren't the best for you, people that don't click with you or pull you down. Okay, we'll see what else pops out though before I say anything conclusive. Your Nature's Whispers for today is the big picture, all about perspective. And I believe it looks like crocus. I think that's what that flower is. Feel free to correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but so the big picture is all about seeing things from a wide bird's eye view. Which is funny because you also got, you know, there's a shadow of a hawk or an eagle here in the desert card of moving forward. You also have the feather here. A lot about bird imagery. We'll see what pops out with your tarot cards. We'll see if maybe more birds pop out, but big perspective. Not on the ground, but from the sky, okay? I wonder if you're going to get a lot of sword cards. We'll see. Okay, and then with your tarot, first up we have the Empress, motherly energy, feminine energy, creation, nurturing. Okay, either nurturing ourselves or others. Lovely, major arcana. Number 2, the 7 of Cups. We have, I believe this is Aladdin? Yeah. What choices do we make? What choices are before us? What choices are good? What choices are bad? Or, well, not bad, I would say least of serving to us for our best good. The choice. Okay, interesting. What wishes or dreams to follow? Oopsie. And then we have the Hierophant. Hierophant this is White Buffalo Woman from, I believe, Lakota belief. Tradition, spirituality, what's passed down. Okay. A lot of major arcana so far. We'll see what else comes through. We have the Six of Coins. It's interesting. Pile number 1 had the Six of Coins and the Hierophant pop out too. Maybe view pile number 1 too if you were drawn to that pile as well. The change pile. Anyways, the Six of Coins is about equal distribution, charity, fairness. Okay, what's fair? And last but not least, we have another major arcana, the Chariot. The Chariot is all about driving forward with willpower. Reversed, like you received it here, is more about something being a little bit out of control, maybe some chaotic energy, okay? Maybe needing to rein it in a bit. All right, so let's look at the big, excuse the pun, the big picture here, pile number 2s. So I think right off the bat, pile 2s, there's a message here about wetting down aspects of your life to make it a lot more smooth. And like your pile leader says, a lot more simple. We have a focus on simplicity here with the feather that came out for you, okay? I forgot to check for birds. Is there any other birds? I don't see any other birds in your tarot cards, okay. I just said that because I just want to make sure if there was synchronicity between, you had the bird here, the feather here. We talked about that earlier, right? Anyways, so yes, there's a need to wet down aspects of your life that your future self is asking you to do to make room for more smoothness, more simplicity, just making your life easier, okay? I think you're at the point, pile number 2s, where you already kind of recognize that there's a need for more of this energy. It's just that you haven't necessarily mentally committed to it yet, okay? And I say that because you have your moving forward card, and like it says, the first step is taken within our stillness. This card is not about, it's not that Three of Wands energy of, okay, go forward. It's the energy of, before you even take your first step, transitioning your mind from I'm not sure to yes, I want to, that type of shift. Okay. Specifically, I think what would bring more simplicity to your life is like what your surrender card says here, surrender unhealthy relationships. So what your future self is telling you is there's unhealthy relationships in your life that if they were wetted down or reduced or maybe even let go in terms of especially toxic people in your life, it would make moving forward a lot easier for you, and it would make your baggage lighter in terms of traveling into the future, metaphorically speaking, okay? There's also an aspect here, pile number 2s, of a need for nurturing yourself more with the Empress, okay? Giving yourself the opportunity for good choices into the future here with the Seven of Cups, okay? You can see, I believe, like I said, I think that's Aladdin here. Deciding between which lamp to pick, okay? One lamp could carry a genie that will grant you 3 wishes, in the story as it goes. Another lamp could be, filled with demons or something, or like just something negative in general, right? Okay. So yes, making good choices for the future, okay? Setting a new tradition in your life with the Hierophant for more fairness to yourself and to rein in the chaos, okay? More simplicity, less chaos. I think too, with especially the big picture, there's an element here of maybe the reason why your future self is asking you to reevaluate the relationships with maybe potentially toxic people in your life is because the intuitive message I'm getting is it's almost like they drag you down into just seeing life in the most minute, unimportant details. I know that sounds weird, but what you need is more people in your life that help you see things from a bird's eye view, from that big picture view, because I think it may be causing you extra anxiety that you don't need, extra sadness that you don't need, okay? There's just a lot of feeling of heaviness with you right now, and by letting go of these unhealthy relationships, pile number 2s, you'll be able to move forward like this figure here in the desert with the hawk, I believe it's, or maybe could be even a vulture or an eagle, right? I'm not sure, but moving forward. Okay, and even, I don't know if you can see this in the picture, but I'll pull it up. On the horizon, there's a line of green, and there's also light. Okay, following where things are bountiful, like with the Empress, growth, nurturing. Okay, greener pastures and light instead of shadows. And, you know, not that deserts are actually technically dead, but in comparison to a lush verdant valley, they're pretty empty, right? Moving to greener pastures, moving to places, packing light, wetting things down more simply, pulling or removing chaos from your life so that you can easily move forward towards that greener land, towards that light, okay? Yeah. And I think, you know, maybe part of it too, especially with the Empress having come up, yes, we talked about it's the energy of nurturing, pile number 2s, but it's also the card of motherhood. I think maybe you take people under your wing sometimes that aren't necessarily the best for you. It's almost that motherly energy of, you know, well, these people might be down on their luck, or these people might be hurting, or these people need me. So I'm going to mother them a little bit. But what you need to focus on is, what do I need? Okay. What will relieve my burdens for once? Okay. What choices do I need to make so that I can set this new tradition of fairness to myself and remove chaos in the future? Okay. And, you know, I think too, there's an aspect, especially with the Chariot reversed here, where one of the reasons that these people might be toxic is because they do almost kind of pull you in ways that drive you away from what you actually want in life, you know, especially in tandem with that 7 of Cups energy, pile number 2s, okay? Let's see if there's any other messages. I also want to pull 3 cards out at the end here for some more advice for you on moving forward with this. Yeah, seeing things from the big picture, that could also be some advice here. We talked about, you know, I think one of the reasons these people might be toxic for you, pile number 2s, is they pull you away from the big picture, but this could also be advice for you in terms of how to view what to let go. Like, a good example would be, let's say there's someone in your life that you know is kind of toxic. You know, maybe they're not the best person to be around, okay? But there's something holding you back. Maybe that motherly energy of, well, they need me to nurture them. They don't have anyone else, okay? But that's just looking at things with the finer details of the small, limited perspective view of, okay, well, this person needs me. But if you shift that into this big picture energy over here with the angel we saw for your Nature's Whispers Oracle, looking overall at what this person has brought to your life, looking overall at, have your attempts to nurture or mother them actually done anything, or are they just becoming dependent upon you, or are they just using you, or are they just never really happy and nothing you do, it's like pouring energy and effort and money or whatever it is into a black hole, okay? Look at what they've actually brought to your life and look at what impact you've actually had on them. Because the problem is that when we reach our hands out to help other people, they have to be willing to grip your hand back for you to actually help them. Okay, if they're just giving you a limp hand, like, oh, come grab me, save me, it's not gonna work. Okay, they need to be able to, you know, grip your hand back so that you can help pull them. Okay, effort on both sides is needed. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you from your future self, pile number 2s. Let's get some more cards as in terms of advice. Okay, Spirit, for my lovely pile 2s, could you give me some advice, maybe 3 cards for them, explaining how to move forward or how to navigate the situation? Okay, well, that one's popping out. Okay, and then we have, I'm going to pull that one and that one. I believe that was the Ace of Coins that popped out. Yes, new opportunities in terms of the realm of the physical. Okay. So it could be money, business opportunities. We'll see what else pops out. Number 2, we have the King of Coins, King of Pentacles reversed. Feeling like there's a lack of external security. Okay. Or manifestation of the physical. Okay. And then we have the 3 of Wands, moving forward into the future. That's literally what like moving forward means. This is the card of moving forward. Okay. Now, this card is more about the mental switch it takes before you take the first step. This is about taking the first step, okay? So pile number 2 is in terms of advice for how to navigate this situation. Let's see, you got the Ace of Pentacles, the King of Coins reversed, 3 of Wands. Okay, what they're saying to me, pile number 2, is you've already given these toxic people their Ace of Coins. You've already given them their chance. You've already given them the help that they needed. Okay? But it's up to them to take that coin, that chance, that help, and turn it into external security for themselves. And that can manifest in money, you know, jobs, home situations, that type of thing. Okay? It's their job, like I said. You can't hold your hand out to help somebody if they're not going to grip it back and hold on and help you pull them or help you help them out, okay? So especially look at areas of your life where maybe other people, you keep helping them out and they keep kind of draining you and it's starting to threaten your own physical security in terms of money or your home, things like that, whatever is like physical. That's what the coins or the pentacles are all about, right? So that you can move forward into the future. Okay. The feeling I'm getting is almost like they're an anchor on your ankle. Okay. Like they're holding you down for moving into the future with physical security. Okay. And your future self is giving you the advice of just go. Okay. You've already did what you could. It's not your responsibility to hold them up. Okay? Think about what's best for you and your future. I also, you got a lot of major arcana cards. You got the Empress, the Hierophant, and the Chariot. I always say these in my readings. When you get a lot of major arcana cards, that tends to be, in my experience, this is a major life lesson. Okay, so this might even be a pattern in your life where maybe you tend to take people under your wing that aren't the best for you, or they don't necessarily help you help them, okay? Maybe you want to believe in people, maybe you want to be optimistic, and that's valuable. That's a good thing to be, okay? It means you're a helpful, supportive person. Fantastic qualities to have, but unfortunately, that also opens you up to situations where people can take advantage of you, okay? And what your future self is saying is, hey, past me, I don't want you to be taken advantage of. I want you to drop your burdens, move forward into the future lighter, get to those greener pastures, more light, a place of more fairness where you can nurture yourself more, rein in the chaos of your life, and enact on plans for yourself and maintain your own security, okay? The saying I always hear is you can't fill other people's cup when your own cup is empty. So focus on your own cup, pile number 2s, okay? All right, so to summarize, your reading is all about there's areas of your life where there may be some toxic, unhealthy, unbalanced relationships. Your future self wants you to lighten your load, reevaluate these relationships, and focus on yourself more, okay? Think about how much help you've already tried to give these people or how many chances you've already tried to give these people. Think about it from a big picture perspective, okay? And I think what this reading is saying is you'll realize that you've given them a lot and they haven't really done much with what you've given them. And so it's time to nurture yourself and for you to move into the future. Make the better choices for yourself, okay? Focus on your own security. Focus on your own peace. Focus on simplicity in your life, okay? Wetting it down, making it smoother for yourself so that you're not so burdened, so that you can move forward into the future with a lighter load, okay? So pile number 2 is, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello there, my lovely pile number threes. Welcome to your pick a card reading today on the topic of your future self having something important to say to you, something for your best, healthiest, happiest future self, right? As you recall, the card you used to pick your pile was the giraffe in the, it looks like a savanna, with the subtitle of Thriving. Succeeding, being your best self, being your happiest self, most securely supported, okay? Not just living, but thriving. So we'll see how that ties into your reading with your other cards. I'm going to set your pile leader off down by the pine cone as always. We have some oracle cards I already drew, and then I'm also going to draw some tarot cards for you pile threes. So Spirit, for my lovely pile threes, could you give me 5 tarot cards explaining more about what this important thing their future self has to say to them? Pretty please. Okay, let's see. 1. Definitely that one right there. Oopsie. 2, 3, 4, and that one's popping out 5. Alright, my lovely threes. First up, we have the Lantern Oracle, number 16, Melting Mask. Allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. Okay, so this card is all about who are you deep down beneath the roles you play. Because in life, we all play different roles, right? We play a role at our job, we play a role in our family, we play a role with our partner if we have one. We play a role in different friend groups, but who are you deep down underneath all those masks? Okay, so that's one part of your message today. We'll see what else pops out. We have surrender. Surrender to silence. In quiet meditation or contemplation, let go and enter the stillness within. Silence can heal and replenish you. We have a castle on a hill, it looks like. Very peaceful energy. Healing with green, okay. Silence can heal and replenish you. Interesting. I'll set these more in the middle here. And then last but not least, your nature's whispers is be gentle with yourself. Okay, there's a lot about rest and recuperation here, pile number threes. Finding out who you are beneath your masks. Not just living, but thriving, okay. See what else pops out with your tarot cards. All right, I'm gonna readjust these just a little bit. First up, we have the Page of Cups reversed. Okay, Page of Cups is the Explorer of Emotions reversed. It's asking to explore our emotions more. In some way. Yep, a lot about like recuperation vibes I'm getting. Strength reversed. Feeling like we lack strength. Feeling like we lack the willpower for something. Maybe we're not taking care of ourselves enough here is kind of a theme. Maybe I'm seeing pile number threes, okay? I wonder if you're maybe a bit burnt out. We have the 5 of Wands reversed. That's about letting go of ego, letting go of our struggle with others, okay? Coming to agreements. We have the 2 of Wands with Janus of Roman mythology. He's got one face facing the past and one face facing the future. 2 of Wands reversed is all about needing to make plans for something. Okay? Needing to plan. And last but not least, the 5 of Cups. I think this is La Llorona. Grief. Sadness. Okay, so pile number threes. Your message is already just kind of screaming out. Very blatant. Your future self wants to talk to you about taking care of yourself. Okay? I think there is this sense of, and I said this when your pile leader first, or we talked about that right at the very beginning of this reading, right? There's a sense of living, but not thriving. Okay? Going through the motions, doing what you need to do, but are you actually happy? Are you actually at your most satisfied? I guess is the question at hand here that your future self wants you to ponder over, okay? There are a lot of cards here about either, sorry, that was my chair making a noise. There are a lot of cards here about either being sad, like the Five of Cups over here, needing more strength, needing to explore your emotions more, being gentle with yourself, taking time for silence, healing, okay? As I was pulling the cards out, I think I already said it. I think you're burnt out, pile number 3. And what your future self wants to tell you is there's a need to focus more on recuperating your energy and not being so hard on yourself, maybe not spreading yourself too thin or spreading yourself a little bit less thin so that you can face the future in a more way, or in a way that's more conducive to your own health. Okay, in a way where you're not so burnt out and stressed out and saddened and just drained of energy. Okay, there's some part here with your melting mask where I think you derive a lot of pride from the roles that you do fulfill in your life. Because like it says, allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. You know, it could be that you're the pillar of strength at your job. You are someone that they can rely on a lot. Maybe you're the pillar of strength in your family too. Maybe you're kind of a leader in your family and a lot of responsibility or burden gets piled upon you, okay? It could be that you're a pillar of strength in a friend group. Maybe you're the one always coordinating social outings or coordinating social gatherings, things like that, okay? Whatever it is, you know, every person has different roles. Every person, you know, let's just say for an example, you might be, you know, not only a parent, you might be a friend, you might be, you know, the responsible one at work, but who are you really deep down? And that's what this card talks about. And I think part of what your future self is concerned about is that you're losing touch with who you are deep down because you're so used to putting on these masks of these different roles that who you are is getting lost in the fold, okay? And that's why your future self is encouraging you to take more time to rest, to not always have to be the most responsible one, okay? So that you can re-find yourself deep beneath the masks that have become so glued on that you're not even sure who you are anymore. Okay, that's what that means. And the reason they're saying this is because at the end here we have the Five of Cups. That's the card of grief or sadness. Okay. So what they're trying to give you advice on is to avoid more grief and sadness in the future by following this path of, hey, you know, you can be more gentle with yourself. All right. You don't have to be the strongest person all the time. You don't have to be the pillar of strength all the time. You know, a lot of times when we step back for our own health, for our own energy, what that does is not just good for you, right? It can also be good for the people around you in terms of, hey, you know, there's a little bit of a gap here that I can step into, and then maybe other people can learn to take responsibility, or other people can learn to do what you do, so that in the future, you're not the only person that knows how to do something. You're not the only person that can fulfill that role, okay? It could even be pile number 3 is if you're considering, you know, maybe you're really burnt out at a job, okay? Maybe you're so identified with your career that you fear stepping away from this particular job and following something else, or stepping away from this particular job and finding a job that's, you know, doesn't burn you out so much elsewhere, right? Because you're so identified with it that it's like, you know, maybe you've been there for a very long time and you're just like, you know, I can't leave, you know, I'm this person at this particular workplace, like they need me, right? But what you're not considering is okay, but what do you need, okay? Like your energy and your relaxation and your health is just as important, if not more important, than whatever it is you do for that company. Not that what you do for other people isn't important or of value, of course. It's just that, you know, you're kind of like, oh, I don't know if I already said this in this reading. I might have said it for a different pile today. It might have been pile number 2, right? You can't fill other people's cups when your own cup is empty. You can't pour water from an empty cup to give someone else a drink, okay? You need to know to fill your own cup. Surrender to that silence. Replenish and heal yourself, okay? So that you can gain more strength and willpower and energy. so that you can make better plans for the future and avoid more grief and sadness in the burden that's heaped upon you. I will pull more cards here in a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if you get the 10 of Wands, but we'll see. Just mark my words if you do get the 10 of Wands. That's because that's the card of burdens, okay? Specifically, if you get it reversed, I wouldn't be shocked. And then too, the Page of Cups over here reversed, like I said, that's the card of exploring our emotions reversed. It's asking for more of that. I think you've almost even numbed yourself deep down inside pile number 3s because you feel like, okay, well, I can't be me. I have to be, parent, responsible person at work. I have to be, best friend that's always reliable. Your future self is asking you to explore more of your emotions around, well, how do these roles actually make you feel? What does it feel like being the most responsible person at your job? Does it make you feel proud, or does it make you feel upset because other people aren't holding their end of the bargain? Because you're old reliable and your boss always piles things on you. Okay, or same thing with your family. Like, let's say you're the one in your family that coordinates everything, or puts everything together in terms of gatherings or people's health or communication, right? How does that make you feel? Do you feel empowered? Oh, look at me. I'm, so I'm such an important part of my family. I'm the hub of the wheel, so to speak. Or does it make you feel resentful because no one else is stepping up to the plate? Explore your emotions, pile number 3s. How does it make you feel? How do these roles and these different masks and roles you play, how do they make you feel? Okay, because what you feel is just as important as what you can do or what's needed to be done. All right, so I'm going to pull some more cards for you here, pile number 3s. Spirit, for my lovely pile 3s, could you give me 3 cards of advice for them as to how to navigate the situation of being overburdened and needing to heal? Okay, well, that one came out. We have the 10 of Swords, okay. Reversed. And then I'm going to pull out this one and that one. Okay, so you didn't get the 10 of Wands, at least so far. You did get the 10 of Swords, though, reversed. 10 of Swords is usually about either a betrayal or, specifically reversed, it can mean overcoming betrayal, overcoming what felt like the end. Oftentimes, it's not funny, but it's funny because the traditional depiction of the 10 of Swords upright is someone that is down, completely drained, sinking into the water here with this particular depiction. You're being advised to, what's the best way to put it? Change yourself from that person that's drowning because of all the expectations or things that are being put upon you into someone that can reach back up and pull yourself back into the boat so that you can support yourself and you can have more energy in the future, okay? Let's talk more about your other cards. We have Justice reversed, okay? Something's not fair. There needs to be more fairness in the situation, pile 3s. Something's not fair to you, okay? And then we have the Magician. Yeah, look at... Reversed, the Magician is about feeling like I don't have everything I need. You're completely drained, pile 3s. You feel really tired, okay? You have a lot of cards about I don't have what I need. I feel at the end of my tether. I feel like this is unfair. That's what these 3 cards mean, okay? I'm at the end of my tether. I feel drained. It's unfair. I don't have everything I need. Okay. So your advice here with reversals, typically in tarot, the way I read reversals is it's asking for more of that energy. Okay. Focus on areas in your life, pile number 3s, that make you tired. Okay. Where you feel almost betrayed. Because literally the imagery on this particular version of the 10 of Swords is this, I believe it's a female figure is grabbing onto the boat and someone cut off her fingers as she was trying to hold on. It's betrayal, right? Where do you feel betrayed or resentful in your life, okay? Because of course I get the feeling that you like to help people. I think that's part of your, what drives you, your purpose. But I think it's getting to the point where you're almost resentful of it because that's all you do is help others instead of helping yourself, okay? Look at areas of your life where things feel unfair. Who's not holding their end up of the bargain, okay? Who's not pulling their own weight? Because every relationship, you know, be it something as deep and connected as romantic or family, right? You know, or something as objective as, like, say, a work relationship, fairness matters in all, okay? Every single relationship is a two-way street of, okay, I need to pull my weight and they need to pull their weight. There's something unfair here. And then the magician, like I said, is about feeling like we don't have what we need. We have, I believe this is the fairy godmother from Cinderella, right? Here's the pumpkins and the mice here. You know, the fairy godmother rolls up to Cinderella and is like, here, have a dress and some glass slippers and a carriage, right? Here's all you need, Cinderella. But reversed, it's that energy of the fairy godmother isn't coming and you don't have the carriage you need. You don't have the glass slippers and the dress that you need, okay, to attend the ball, you know, metaphorically speaking. It could even be that you've been drained from social interactions lately just because you're so tired from work or your responsibilities. Okay. So, you know, when it comes to addressing other people in terms of, you know, maybe part of the reason why you've been hesitant to let go of some of these burdens, pile number 3s, is because you're afraid of confronting other people. You know, you might be the type of person where you'd rather not rock the boat. Okay. But emphasize when you speak to other people about this, about, hey, maybe, you know, you guys could take more of the burden, or I can't take this on that you're trying to pile on me. Emphasize, number 1, I can't be that responsible person for you if I don't have all the energy and recuperation that I need to be my best self and give you the best work I can. You know, that more in terms of a job, right? Or even with family. Hey, I can't be the best parent I can be if I'm completely drained. All right. That's the magician. Then emphasize fairness with justice. Hey, you know what? This is kind of unfair to me. How come I always have to shoulder the burden? Why aren't you shouldering the burden? Don't be afraid to be a little bit more confrontational and assertive, okay? Then emphasize, I feel drained. You know, I almost feel resentful because I've been having to do so much, okay? I'm drowning and I'm trying to hold on to the edge of the boat and it feels like these other people are just cutting off my fingers when I try. Okay, especially like I said with that 10 of swords, it's this is a work situation for you, pile number 3s. It's almost like your manager just keeps piling more and more and more upon you. I don't know if like people have left your company or they've been let go for like budget reasons or like layoffs, or but it's just like you're the person that's drowning and all these swords are being thrown down at you and you're trying to hold on to the boat, but you're drowning under all this work and your boss is still the person chopping your finger. I mean, this is kind of violent or gory, but that's what this card is, literally chopping the fingers off, right? Trying to hold on, but they're not even letting you. They're hurting you. Okay? Even if they don't mean to. So yes, like I said, when you get more confrontational with people, respectfully, of course, about, hey, I'm drained. I'm not living, or I'm not thriving. I'm just living. I have no strength left. I'm tired. I need rest. Emphasize it's fair to me for me to get more rest. I need more rest to be the best I can be, to have the materials, resources I need to do my best job. And I'm tired and I'm drained and I feel like I'm drowning. Okay, as long as you emphasize those things, your future self is saying that things will go better for you. And the reason your future self is saying this to you is because they want you to avoid that grief of the 5 of Cups. They want you to be more gentle with yourself, to have more healing and recuperation. They want you to thrive and not just live, okay? Or, well, you want you to thrive because it's your future self, right? They want you to have more strength. They want you to listen to your own emotions more. They want you to feel like you can make plans for the future unencumbered by the expectations of others, the burdens from others, okay? See if there's any other messages for you before I sign off, pile 3s. Yeah, and another aspect of advice here, we talked about the melting mask before, about I think you become so identified with these roles you play that you've kind of forgotten who you are deep down. Try, your Surrender to Silence card talks about meditation. Try activities, including meditation is one, where you can identify more with what you actually feel deep inside, or actually who you are deep inside. Who were you before you took on these roles, pile number 3s, okay? And try to get more in touch with who that was, because I think that will help you a lot in the future. Because when you have a stronger connection to who you are underneath these roles you fulfill, your ego or your esteem doesn't depend so much on fulfilling that mask, so that you can detach from it more easily, so that you can focus more on yourself. I don't know if I worded that quite correctly, but basically it's like, if you become so identified with these masks, you're never going to want to pull them off and let your true self shine or nurture your true self deep within, because you feel like that mask is you. But that role you play is not you. So when you step back from that mask or that role, you're not letting yourself down. You're giving your true self underneath that mask a chance to shine and get the energy or resources that you, your deep true self underneath these roles, needs, so that your true self isn't just dying underneath these pretty masks, okay? So that's what I will leave you with today, my lovely pile number 3. Is, as always, I hope that reading was helpful for you. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Focus on relaxation, okay? Take some time for yourself. You know, don't let your energy reserves get so low that you can't even fill other people's cups, okay? Okay, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3s.